cuts through the noise and spin, yeah. No filter, no fear, he's going all in. Yeah, movies, games, have TV shows, put truth in the blows. This is lights, camera, rant, where fandom meets fury. Yeah, you know where we stand. Strap in, speak up, turn the volume to 10. And let the From heroes that soar to villains that flop, from endings we love to the ones that should stop. He'll call out the hype, tear down the disguise. Say what you're thinking but can't verbalize. No sugarcoat, no play it safe plan. Just raw uncut, that's Mr. Redman. Every frame, every game, every line's fair game. If it's weak, if it's fire, he'll call it by name. This is lights, camera, rant, where fandom meets fury. Yeah, you know where we stand. Strap in, speak up, turn the volume to 10. And let
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and we need to talk about Avatar, Ash, and Fire, which before we get into that, which I was fully ready to, out of complete nowhere, we got the Odysseus trailer, which dropped, which I thought wasn't going to happen this year, like it was rumored, but we need to talk about it. And as I'm recording this, it's so scary, the fact that it is only 2 days away from Christmas, and that's almost a wrap on 2025. As always, thank you very much for listening to it every single week. Comes and joins the live, and a big shout out to Andrea Shepherd, who's come past on YouTube. Thanks for coming past as well, and Elijah as well. Thanks for coming past. Can you believe that we're this close to Christmas? 2025 is nearly over, and next week we're going to be talking about Anaconda, the brand new movie with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. And then after that, our very first episode of 2026 is going to be a full breakdown of everything that you need to be ready for movies, TV shows, and video games, and everything. Because 2026 is going to be absolutely stacked. Can I have a shout out? Of course, Elijah. Yeah, of course, Elijah. Why for you? Shout out. Thanks for coming past. But yeah, next year I was running through it just before I started recording. I was just looking at everything that's coming out. I'm like, geez, both video games, both TV shows is just absolutely stacked. You know, there's just so much coming out. I know the Odysseus is one of the biggest movies of the year that you cannot miss. The fact that you get a trailer for this movie, and it's not even like, Academy Award-winning director Christopher Nolan, or the same director that brought you Oppenheimer, it just says Christopher Nolan, proves the fact that that movie next year is going to be wild. The fact of what he's going to be producing, that this man has made. The biggest question, of course, is how big this movie is going to be, but what is going to be his next project? Because after Oppenheimer, it was like, well, what's he going to conquer next? And this is just No one could have predicted that he was going to be doing something like this entirely. And it's so exciting to see for next year. I'm fully pumped for it, which we'll get in 2 weeks. But yeah, I hope you guys have also been watching your Christmas movies. Have you been watching Elf? Are you watching Jingle All the Way? Have you watching Polar Express? Have you been catching up? Have you been catching up all on the Christmas movies and Die Hard, which I will die on the hill. The fact that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And I know it's something that comes up all the time on is it or isn't it is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas. Nearly any movie that takes over Christmas is a Christmas movie. And it's actually also funny. I actually watched Jingle All the Way last night with my wife, and I kind of forgot how bad the CGI is in that, or it's really not held up for a movie of 1997. 96, sorry, that came out. So it's funny looking at watching and going, wow, that's a bit rough. Watching Jingle All the Way. Still a classic. Still absolutely love it. But yeah, the whole time he's doing the turbo time, just when he's flying around, I'm like, wow, this looks bad. But hey, look, that's it. We've done the Pole Express. We've done Jingle All the Way. We're going to be watching Die Hard. We're going to be watching Alf. But it's funny because I was looking at these movies, and of course, Christmas movies come up because of what you grew up on, and that's why you watch them. But there isn't been a really good Christmas movie that's come out in the past few years. One that I really want to watch that at Christmas time. Like there was last year. There was that what was it? The Christmas Carol basic story with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. That was half baked, but it was all right. Well, actually, that's probably 2 years ago now. That one was that. Yeah, and there's a couple of Christmas specials, but nothing on that same level. Or with Santa Claus as well, which even though 2 years ago we did get the Santa Claus TV show on Disney Plus for season 1 and season 2. So we did get that, which was was great diving back into that universe for Santa Claus. Still can't believe that from that single movie, there's been 2, 3, and a TV show as well, which I can't believe they even announced a TV show at the time. But yeah, we're full swing into the whole Christmas festivities, if you will. I just, this year's there's been a lot that's come out this year, and I can't believe that we're nearly at the end. And writing out all the notes for next few weeks' episodes, and I've got to start planning out everything to let you guys know what's coming in 2026. And we're also going to be talking about for this episode a few trailers that have come out in the past week for more films that are in 2026 that I am super excited for. One I wasn't really expecting, rumored, but we're going to get into that as well. But look, pull up a drink, get ready for the rant, because we need to break all this. We need to break all this shit down. So, ranters and rantettes, let's dive into this episode. But yes, Odysseus. So Odysseus is coming out next year in July 17th, 2026. Essentially, this will be coming out roughly the same time as Spider-Man Brand New Day. So it will be, instead of Oppenheimer or Barbenheimer or Oppenbarbie, where you want to talk about it, is the fact that we're going to be having Tom Holland versus Tom Holland next year. Back to back with these two films, he will be the box office. He will be the box office man. I wonder if he'll break that record, because 2 years ago, a record was broken because it was 3 movies in a row. I'm pretty sure from oh my god, I forgot his name. Kang, Jordan. Oh my god, I just forgot his name. It doesn't tip my tongue. He broke the record of where are you? Jonathan Majors. Sorry, Jonathan Majors broke a record early last year. Sorry, a few years ago. Well, because of Ant-Man 3 and because of Creed 3. And the record was the consecutive single weeks in which an actor was at the top of the box office. And potentially Tom Holland could be the one to break that record next year with Odysseus. Spider-Man Brand New Day back to back. So that would be really interesting to see. And again, the cast for Odysseus is a massive listing for everyone that's who is in Hollywood is going to be appearing in this movie. It's also Christopher Nolan's biggest budget movie as well, budget. Over $250 million. And he's even said the fact that it's been one of the most difficult shooting experiences he's ever gone through with the elements, the casting, the extras, all of it, because we all know he's a very practical man. If he can reduce the CGI as much as possible, he will. And this is why his films are fantastic to watch. You know, the Dark Knight trilogy, Oppenheimer, Inception, Tenet, minimal CGI as possible. But when he does do it, it looks fantastic. And I was having having a conversation last week with my mates about a Tenet, and I think it's such one of the underrated films of his that I know a lot of people don't like Tenet, but you can't ignore how unique that film is in itself. And we have it with this as well. Like the first glimpse, we first part of this trailer, it's just desert, graves, and then we get this sleek black armor. Like it looks like something from the Dark Knight, but that just looks menacing. The detail on it looks fantastic on this armor, and that kind of just sets the precedent for the entire trailer. We get elements. We see Anne Hathaway. We see Tom Holland in this. And of course, the lead man being Matt Damon, all about him, about how strong his army is and how he wants to get home. This is basically a story being the fact he wants to get home through his travels. But just seeing the trailer this morning, God, that was a Christmas present right there. Getting the Odysseus trailer, seeing that. And I really hope, and I will give my left kidney for this, to go to the premiere for this and see this in IMAX. Is just going to be incredible. Of course, getting the right seats for it is the other making sure. But if we do the roll call, we've got Matt Damon, we've got Tom Holland, we've got Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, Maya Goth. Like there's just so many people in this, and not only that. But there's a whole bunch of extras of people who are going to be popping up in the background. Similar thing to Oppenheimer, but I tell you, the excitement is there. This film is going to be massive. On the same scale as Oppenheimer, not too sure because Oppenheimer was big in itself. But at the same time, because of Barbie, that just boosted up it onto another level. I don't know if Odysseus is going to do that. Very curious also what it's going to be rated, because that's the other question. What's going to be rated? Because, of course, it's going to be like probably the same level as Oppenheimer and The Dark Knight. But I don't know a single person who's not excited for this film. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be such an experience. But that trailer, everything from it, like it wasn't a massive trailer, but if they just released that and nothing else, which of course they are going to release something else, but if they release nothing else except for that trailer, that is all I need for the next 7 months to get over the line until this movie comes out. That's it. That's all you need. It's smack bang in the year. We have only 7 months to go before we see this film and see Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I'm excited for. But yes, I'd love to know in the comments. Definitely let me know what you think about this trailer. Was it enough? Do you want to see the trailer 2? What do you think of the black armor, which looked incredible? It's just, this film is going to be nuts. And sometimes the history movies don't do it for me, but this is doing it for me straight away. And I'm so up for it. So excited. Now, this was a little bit sort of interesting. So we did know that the next villain for Superman 2 was going to be Brainiac. But we do have a Brainiac. It's Lars Edinger as Brainiac. for Superman 2, which will be coming out in 2027. Look, it's an interesting casting. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. Like, not who I thought. Yeah, I guess Superman's always been different. You never know who's going to be casting, but it's funny because it was kind of like, oh my god, Brainiac casting, cool. It's this guy. I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck this is. Like, not even like just a hint that I've seen you in something else. I'm like, I have literally no idea who this guy is. Which I don't know if I haven't watched enough, but let's see. A lot. He's been in The Light, Jay Kelly, White Noise, About Joanne, My Little Sister, My Loving Dumbo. He was in Dumbo. He was in Matilda. The Origin of Violence. Home of the Weekend. Held. See Nothing. Television. He's also been in a few music videos. All the Light We Cannot See. Sensei, Shades of Guilt. That's I am all for it. I'm all for different actors, but this guy's your Brainiac, which I wasn't expecting, but anyway, he's gonna be. And it's still wild to me the fact that we're going to give Superman 2 in 2027. Like, we're getting Lex Luthor in the green suit. We're getting Brainiac, and Mr. Handsome is also returning as well. So don't you worry. But yes, here is your Brainiac. Interesting how he's going to be, but I'm still up for it. I'm just glad the fact that we're getting a sequel so soon, unlike other movies, unlike other ones which just take forever, which is one of the movies we'll be talking about at the end of this episode. But we are getting. Also, not only we go. Side note, I forgot to mention the fact that also a big shout out. Thank you so much for Disney Sam for the to go to the premiere for Avatar, and of course, Studio Canal for the premiere to go see The Housemaid, which we'll be talking about in a separate episode, and of course, Sony to go see Anaconda. I just paused. I was about to say something else, but yes. But that is your next one. Also, now Star Wars, which has such a mixed bag of announcement movies that is coming, they're not coming, they are coming, it's been cancelled, you get a trilogy, you get a movie, you get a trilogy, that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. Let's just throw whatever we can at the wall and see what sticks, or let's spend a whole bunch of money on a TV show that's about the prequel of The Force and everything, and then not do a season 2, and it's all mixed together. All right, so we do know at this moment, Ahsoka season 2 is currently filming. The Mandalorian Grogu movie is coming out next year, which we really should be getting a second trailer for that soon. I do hope. We do know that's coming. And next Star Wars film after that is Star Wars Starfighter starring Ryan Gosling. Now, this is just finished filming. The plot details are very thin on it at the moment, but but they're all done and getting ready for its 2027 release on May the 28th. It will be coming. So for Star Wars fans, this is your next Star Wars film on the big screen. And look, the last Star Wars film that wasn't the main trilogy. I'm trying to think. Was Solo? I think. I'm getting tested now. I think it was Solo, and that didn't do very well. Because it was Solo. Because after Rise of Skywalker, that's it. So this is the next one. I'm very curious to see how it's going to go and what type of shape or form it's. I really do need to see a trailer on this. I hope it does well. I hope Mandalorian Grogu does well. I'm sure that I have no doubt it will. Especially that leads into the whole Ahsoka season 2 as well. because you remember, there was meant to be the Rogue Squadron, there was meant to be the Old Republic movie. What else? Trying to think, what else was that before that? There was also the Rey movie. Also the Rey movie, which I'm pretty sure is like up in the ether of like nothing. Up in the ether of nothing. Like it's just funny how all these movies go announced and we're never going to be seeing it at all. Especially the Rogue Squadron. The Rogue Squadron was going to be one. And that's just not happening at all. That was the Patty Jenkins. Pretty sure she was meant to be making that, and that's off into the distance, old yellow style. That's not happening anymore. But we can very rest assured of the fact that we at least have Mandalorian Grogu, and of course, this next one, Star Wars Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, which Ryan Gosling's next two movies are pretty much all in space, because he's also got that other space movie that's coming out next year, which is based on the book called Hail Mary. That's what else we have. So his next two films are all in space. So it's going to be very interesting, very grand of what's going to be next for him. But like, as I've also been talking about before, was that, Spider-Man Brand New Day is also wrapped filming. It is also rumored the fact that we're meant to be getting the first teaser for it this week. And this is the trouble, is that you do hear about leaks. You do hear about not about legitimate trailers. The AI trailers make it so hard to determine exactly what's the real and what's the fake. But we are apparently meant to begin the teaser this week or next for Spider-Man Brand New Day, because it is fully wrapped filming to get ready for its July release in 2026. And there are so many characters that could be appearing in this film, and it is meant to kick off a new trilogy with Tom Holland, as long as he wants to stay on board with Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it's hard to believe the fact that the last one was Spider-Man No Way Home. That was the last one, and that was such a good film. Such a good film. That was the last time I saw a big raw reaction in a theater. Big raw reaction will be the last one. So that's going to be coming for Spider-Man Brand New Day. A teaser would be really nice. Like, we did obviously get the teaser for when they started shooting, and we have seen the on-set photos, but this is the next one on top of that. Also, so totally wasn't expecting this. Don't remember the announcement for this, but all right, let's dive in. So we had Old Man Logan. Now we're getting Old Man Robin Hood. So there is an A24 movie coming out next year. No official release date, only the fact it's coming in 2026, starring Hugh Jackman as Old Man Robin Hood, which is called The Death of the Robin Hood, which is based on a book, which basically he's at his end of his run. He's reflecting on everything he's done. He's injured. It's basically him in his twilight years of everything with Robin Hood. It's funny because I saw this photo of him all grizzly with the white hair, and I almost thought it was an AI photo of Old Man Logan, like a really old photo of Old Man Logan. But I thought, oh no, that is actually Hugh Jackman. And the funny thing is we're getting this film right now, right? This film is coming out next year in 2026, and I've just seen the trailers for his other new movie, Sheep Detective. And this contrast between, not to mention his other new movie as well, where he plays Neil Diamond. There you go, from Wolverine, Neil Diamond, Sheep Detective, and now you're going to Robin Hood. It's being an A24 film. I'm really curious, and now it's popped up a little bit higher on my most anticipated movies of 2026. Wasn't expecting. Didn't even know this was, like I said, didn't know this was even a thing. But I also said it in. So if you're looking for a new Robin Hood movie and you want a little bit of Hugh Jackman, this is the one for you at this stage. It's just 2026. I don't know where that's going to pop up at all. But judging if we just got the photo for it and no trailer, I say mid to late year. roughly around them. Now we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. So we did get one trailer so far. It is rumored. Keep it in. So last week, if you remember, I said the fact that Avengers Doomsday apparently is going to be having 3 teaser trailers. One about Steve Rogers, one about Thor, and one about Doctor Doom, all from different point of views. And so far in the past week, we did get the Steve Rogers one, which Steve Rogers, it's a small teaser. We see him back at the old house with a kid, and he is returning for Avengers Doomsday, which adds a little bit more context when people are like, oh, it's a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame, which we already knew because all the MC films are technically a sequel to each other in some sort of level, especially being Avengers. We knew that was going to happen. But yeah, it looks like the rumor was the fact that Doomsday is going to pick up directly after Endgame and basically be angry at Steve for messing up with the timeline and causing an incursion. And that looks to be the case. Then the rumor for the second one for Thor is that apparently his child has been taken, the little girl from Thor 4, his daughter has been taken, and basically is asking for the All-Father to give him strength as he goes into battle. So another little thing going into this is they got to remember that all the majority of the Avengers are separated to a degree. Of course, Steve's being back in time, Iron Man dead, Thor off the Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's little groups together, but there's a lot of people who are also very farly separated on how they're all going to come together to fight Doctor Doom, which of course it's going to be so exciting. Let's see what to see in this. But that small teaser got me so excited for it. The fact he's returning. But I don't think he's returning being Chris Evans. I could be wrong. I don't think he'd be returning as Captain America. I'm assuming he's probably just going to be in the first few scenes. He isn't actually going to come back and properly fight. Or he will just have his outfit from Infinity War, which it was really faded for his old suit. Basically, Captain America, or Steve Rogers No Man, which basically he doesn't fight for any flag at all. The Captain America mantle is still on Anthony Mackie. It's still with him. That's still staying there. That is not changing. With Sam's, that is not changing with his character. And Steve Rogers. But if he does come and fight, but then again, if he doesn't come and fight, I feel like that just does kind of like ruin his ending in Endgame to a degree. But if he doesn't come and fight, I'm happy with that as well, because that kind of means that he's being left for the new generation, everything he's passed on. And even though if it's Sam who says that he's going to get his kid back, you stay here, he can't go, he's going to stay. He's going to stay with the wife, of course. Peggy's going to stay with her. So it could be, it's going to be interesting how, again, I know I've said this multiple times. It's just going to be interesting to see how this all comes together. Because, in Russo Brothers, we trust. I know it's been a favorite. It's not, some people will differ in everything. But still, Kevin Feige, we trust. I trust in him, what he's going to do, what he's going to do next. Like, yes, they've made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Give him a chance. I know people are going to be like, oh, no, this is the golden era of the MCU. I'm like, look at that. Yeah, that was the golden era. But there was still a whole bunch of films that people still racked on, say that were shit, that weren't up to scratch. Thor 2. Ant-Man 2, there's still a few films in there that don't really stack up. But of course, there's been a few more misses in this, especially with the last rumor I saw that apparently Ironheart, which I don't think is going to happen. Apparently, there's a whole rumor that Ironheart's going to be removed from Disney Plus because it performed so badly and was such a waste. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Ironheart, I'll die on that hill. Ironheart is not that bad. It can be slightly a slog getting through it, but trust me, out of all the Disney Plus TV shows, it is not the worst that they've produced. It's not that bad. Or ones that, like, don't get me wrong, like Echo was good, but if I had to choose going from Echo to Ironheart, I'd probably go watch Ironheart again. Echo is just that nice little tidbit, but that was about it. Also, it's also rumored, which is kind of not surprised, because this also has happened with Echo as well, is that Echo dropped in January. All the episodes were dropped, and that appears to be what's happening with Wonder Man. Like, Wonder Man is coming out, but it just seems that the whole like promotional for it seems to be very little. Like, Wonder Man is right around the corner. Where are you? Pretty sure. It's January. It's releasing 27th of January. So it's next month. It's coming out. And it is it isn't. Yeah, so it is rumored that, wow, this was announced. Oh, wow. 2024, last year. Last year was announced for Wonder Man. See how it's going with that one. But yes, it looks like it'll be doing the same thing and be dropping right then. So look, Marvel, Marvel has had hits and misses a lot lately. But, I think people also do forget that in this past, since Endgame, we got No Way Home. We got Loki. We got Daredevil Born Again. We got X-Men 97. We got Thunderbolts. We got Wakanda Forever. We got Deadpool, Wolverine, and and not to mention, which other ones onto my tongue. I was just Fantastic Four. Like, there has been wins. Great wins, especially this year in Reflection. Like, Cat 4 wasn't totally great, but Thunderbolts was fantastic. Fantastic Four was great. No Way Home was great. We are getting, the consistent quality films isn't there, but we are getting some films that we're going to be talking about for a very long time, especially No Way Home. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 we're talking about, wrapping off a near perfect trilogy of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. A film that I can't go back to because I'm going to cry in that scene. And there's a whole thing about Crypto for the Supergirl movie. They'll probably cry too, depending on how that's going to go. But yeah, and look, we're gearing up for one of the biggest films next year. Because right now for Avengers Doomsday, it is less than 1 year until we get to that film. Yes, we were meant to have it this December. There was going to be Avatar versus Doomsday, but I guess that didn't happen. But don't worry, it is going to be Doomsday versus Doom. So it's going to be Doomsday next year, with the fact that, Doom apparently has also come forward, so they aren't going directly head to head. But yes, Steve Rogers is returning. Thor trailer is meant to be around the corner. Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. So we're eating good. Still very curious to see what's going to happen with Chris Evans and how much he is going to be in Doomsday. Also, this is kind of like a little bit of a wild thing. This was a report I saw that I was like, okay. So the Oscars coming in 2029 will be showing on YouTube. Won't be on ABC, which has been on there since like 1970 something. It's been on for that long. Is that it will be until 2029 to 2033. Looks like YouTube did a high bid. They've got it. It's going to be interesting to go watching the Oscars on YouTube, like basically like a channel, like a normal channel, which I know a lot of people do already to watch their shows and everything. But you will be watching the Oscars on YouTube come that year. So it's going to be very interesting to see what it's going to look, how the feedback's going to be. But yeah, there's a lot of changes in the industry at the moment that you're just like, like we're still going through the WB and Netflix deal, which is Still wild because apparently Paramount could not muster up enough package to give to Warner Brothers, and it looks like it's going to be Netflix. Wow, the fact Netflix is going to own WB, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, all there. Except I don't know how. I think I said last time with the Harry Potter TV show. That's probably not going to be on Netflix for a very, 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 very long time because that'll be a whole HBO Max streaming deal. So don't go into that as well. What we got here? So got Nick 9099. Yo, I'm new here, but I got one question about Avatar. I love the movie, but how many times can they call on Awa Clown to save the day? Look, we're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that because that is, we're going to get into that. So stick around for a little bit. But yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot I need to rant about Avatar with this one because god damn. Yo, LG Films S1 had a whiskey and a beer with. Very nice, sir. Are we talking spoilers? Yeah, we're going to go to spoilers territory. We're going to go in spoilers territory because the fact it has been at least 4 to 5 days since they came out. So we are going to go into spoiler territories and talk about this film. But just a quick notion, don't forget the fact that Fallout Season 2 has started streaming. First 2 episodes out now. Unfortunately, it is on a completely weekly basis. That's a shit thing. It's also shit the fact that it's not going to be until I think Feb when it all wraps up with the 8 episodes. So doing that weekly. And also Percy Jackson is also streaming right now. So if you can't wait for Odysseus and you want your Greek mythology fix, this will do the trick. First 3 episodes that are also streaming. That will also be weekly. I think that will finish up in January as well to get ready for Wonder Man. Now let's talk about Avatar. Let's talk about arguably, yeah, that's right. The most anticipated film of 2025. The last major film of this year. Sorry, big major film. Like I know it's still Anaconda, but last big major film. A film that is interesting. Goes for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Its budget was $400 million. It's currently made $346 million at the box office right now, currently being the 17th highest grossing movie for this year, which has beaten it's beaten both Weapons, Snow White, Predator Borderlands, Freaky Friday, 28 Days Later, now you see me, now you don't, one bell after another. Tron Ares, yeah, it's completely smashed Tron Ares, Mickey 17, Ballerina, Smurfs, Karate Kid, The Working Man, The Running, completely beat The Running Man. Wow, I didn't realize The Running Man was so low. Wow, really? Only made $68 million at the box office. Ouch. And that was such a good movie too. Anyway, currently right now, with it saying that, so where are you? Number 17. Yep. So currently now, it is chasing to be the highest grossing movie of this year. It is chasing Sinners, Thunderbolts, Cat 4, Wicked, The Conjuring, Fantastic Four, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Superman, F1, How to Train Your Dragon, Demon Slayer, Jurassic World Rebirth, Minecraft movie, and Lilo and Stitch. And of course, Zootopia is next. Also, LJ Films, this one. Okay, my biggest gripe is the middle. Needs 20 minutes shaved off, and Estelle seeing Awa I didn't like. She works better as the concept. Oh, I know. That kind of shook me when we did see Awa for the first time. I'm like, okay. I think that was a lot better. As a concept or as this is Awa. Like the Force. Like the Force is Awa. Everything in the planet is Awa. I think that would have been a lot a lot better. All right, so Avatar. Avatar: Fire and Ash is a sequel to The Way of the Water. It's directed by James Cameron. As she films a giant. It was just a giant Pokemon. Didn't like. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I could see that. 100%. Could see that. So this film is directed by James Cameron, Jim, if you will. 71 years old. This film, it's interesting because this film was like half shot at the same time as Way of the Water, and then the rest was shot. It's coming off the back of both Avatar and Avatar 2, which both may have made billions, are both billion-dollar films at the box office. Will this latest Avatar film make that cut? I do not think it will. I don't think it will cross that line to $1 billion. And if it does, I think it will just cross this line. And look, this film picks up right after Way of the Water. It's only a couple of weeks. Only a couple of weeks it comes off. Only a couple of weeks it comes off from the Way of the Water. So it's pretty much back to back. So if you watch Way of the Water and watch Avatar, it's basically one big story where Avatar 1 to 2 has a time jump. Avatar 3 and 4 will have a time jump as well as 6 years to get ready for its December 2029 release date. Nick 909. You know what we got to do for the fourth Avatar? Introduce Master Chief. Yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild. The fact to get in. We're aside, but seeing Master Chief. Actually, you know what? I'll go off topic. I would love a Halo movie. God damn it! Come on. But then people probably would also be like, "This is just Avatar with a green dude." Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because it would look as beautiful. And look, the thing is, Avatar. I will say one thing. Avatar, the first one, does not deserve to be the highest grossing movie of all time. That belongs to Endgame every day of the week. Endgame deserves to be the highest grossing movie of all time, not Avatar 1. It deserves second place. That's where it deserves. And with this film, like it's hard in the sense that I can't get this wrong. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. What James Cameron has made for a film is that you really dive into this world. It immerses you so much. The CGI, the effects, everything is stunning. The water, the animals, the wildlife, it is all stunning and beautiful to look at. Like, yes, it is 3 hours long, but if at that time you are well immersed into this world and into these characters, everything that follows with these characters is justified except for one scene, which kind of makes sense, but is still such a weird scene. The only thing about this film that I find, which I found at the end of going into this film, which is it does feel like a rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. The plot of it just felt like the same type of thing that we got Way in the Water. You know, the Colonel comes back as a Na'vi. He's going to kill Sully. Oh, there's a new group of Na'vi, the water people. There's a new Na'vi group. The fire people. Like it's a similar story. It just felt so rinse and repeat. There's even scenes in the film which I swear I was looking going, that's the same scene from Way of Water. That's the same thing they did in Way of Water. That's the same thing. Like, it's $400 million, but did you have to rinse and repeat some scenes as well just to finish off the film, Mr. Cameron? Because there's a bit of it. And look, I know there's going to be people who are going to make an argument with me going the fact, Avengers films rinse and repeat every single one. There's a baddie. They're gonna lose it first, and someone's gonna die, and they're gonna come back stronger, and they're gonna beat them. And of course, there's gonna be an end credit scene. It's gonna lead to the next one. Yeah, I'll take that. But this just like 3 hours in, I'm like, felt like I was just watching the same movie. And don't get me wrong, I think the first Avatar is fantastic. It is great. I remember looking at the theater and goes, that blew me away. And then here you wear the water, and I was like, okay, this is just kind of like, here's the water people. Here's also a giant ship sinking, so it's like Titanic again. And then here's this film. So if you're going into Avatar 4, and we're going to leave to a little bit later, is the fact that if James Cameron doesn't return for this film, I am sending a strong message to the director, take it in a different direction. Do something real different with it, different direction. Do something like, I don't know, just anything different. I don't want them to, I don't want the fourth film to be like, oh, here's the fire people. Here's the water people. Here's the fire people. Here's the earth people. Now we have the wind people. And of course, the Colonel is going to infiltrate again and go into it. LG Films. I didn't even think that the ship sinking is the same as the Titanic. I get like the ship was sinking. It was going up in way of water. I was like, oh, I wonder where this came from. I wonder where this I wonder where this came from. What a great original idea. And not to mention, that was another thing for this film, is that, of course, we're going to spoilers territory, is that we have all the humans going out to the water again to go kill the whales to get the juice from their brain. Again, the same scene where there's both the crab things going in the water, the ships, the spear guns, even the same whale shooting dude is also there. And very scene. That was one particular scene that I was like, wow, this looks like it's about the same thing. And of course, Awa comes to the rescue for it. It just felt like so much rinse and repeat. And don't get me wrong, this compared to Way of the Water, there felt like a lot more action. Like I don't know, the beat for it, the pacing for it is fine. You don't get to the point where you're like, ooh, look at the time. Nothing at all. And you know what's funny? Speaking of time, so I went to the premiere for this last week, and and halfway through the premiere, the film, the IMAX actually had a glitch and shut off. So for me, the longest movie of the year just got longer by a 15-minute interview, which thank God, because I need to go to the toilet. But it went for longer, which I thought was so funny. Also, shout out to Ni Joshua. How are your day? My day is going well, mate, because we're talking about Avatar. So the whole whale scene, that felt like the same thing again. And it's funny when you go into these films, when you watch a film, is you want to be immersed and you want to go along for the journey, which you are going along with this journey for this film. But at the end of it, I was wow for the visuals, but for the story, it didn't wow me. Like, I didn't leave going, God, I can't wait to watch that again. I need to get another ticket for this and watch it again. I didn't. It just feels rinse and repeat for this whole film. Unfortunately, I really do feel like that's, and the comments I've seen from people, it's the same, people with 50-50 going through it, but and it's we get a love interest after LG Films, after Hot Air Balloon Attack, up to the start of the barrel, the middle needs 25. Yeah, look, you are right. You can shave this film down at least by 20 minutes. You can shave it. At least 50 minutes you could shave this film for. Cut some of the stuff out, bring it down. That could be, or some scenes were longer than what they were meant to be, or no, sorry, not lengthy, but some scenes were like, okay, I didn't need to be this long. Don't get me wrong, we did kind of get the wind people with the air balloon aspect. Beautiful scene. I won't knock that back. Beautiful. That was great. Seeing all these characters back was great. Again, great performances across the board. A big shout out to Onana Chaplin. Yes, that is correct. That is Charlie Chaplin's not daughter, yeah, daughter. She did a fantastic job as playing as the new Varang. She did a fantastic job. She was menacing, just basically that unhinged villain that just wants chaos, and a good representation of what happens when Eward doesn't protect them. So she did a fantastic job. Stephen Lang, as the Colonel, he did a great job as a villain. But again, at the end of the film, he was fighting Jake one-on-one again, and of course, there was of course Spider, which he does get a very interesting with him. With where are we? With Spider, he can breathe the air, and this was one of the aspects I did like the film, is that because he was nearly dying, and Awa helped him to breathe the planet's air on Pandora, how much of a threat that he is going to be because of the humans. If they can breathe the air, like, it just becomes a whole another battle itself, and could be an end of Pandora entirely. So I did like that aspect. It was really wild, the fact that Jake was about to kill him, and Nerity had to help and save him. So that was wild, and how that was going to be and interesting. But yes, there is a scene where we do get to see Awa for the very first time, which was also weird because she plays, Sigourney Weaver plays Kiri. That was very weird. The fact that you got to see her for the first time, because it was all about she's not helping, but she is helping. And then she does finally help, and they do fight back. So even in what I'm saying, just feels so much like again and again. So look, if it's a film, look, you're gonna be blown away by the visuals. You're gonna be blown away, but it's almost to the point is that I've seen this film. I've seen this done. And also, of course, we get to a little bit more of the characters from the first film that we're missing from the second one. So they're all back in this as well. So it really did feel like we saw everybody. My only little gripe about the film is that it didn't really wrap up the trilogy. I know they did announce 4 and 5, but 4 or 5 don't go ahead because James Cameron is 71. That's the thing in itself. So, but yes, Avatar 4 and 5 are on the table and have been announced. That they would have to. They've said the fact that they want to see how the reception of Avatar 3 goes before they full go into production for Avatar 4 and 5. And also James Cameron iterated that the last 2 sequels would not go ahead if Fire and Ash is unsuccessful at the box office, but that he will write a book instead and resolve the one open thread and so it leaves open. So he would write a book to wrap it all up. But depending on the money, I'm pretty sure Disney's going to want to make those sequels because it's a proven IP. The money's there. It's just the fact the budget to make it is just a lot. Of course, it's a lot of money. But I still think it's wild, the fact that Matt Damon turned Avatar down, and he was also offered some money on the box office, and he turned that down so much. The film just felt like a little bit underwhelming for me for this. Of course, it's also on the back of with Jake Neri's son also died. We do get him briefly at the very start as a callback. This film, leaving 2025, how I'm going to see the box office goes, of course, because now we are on school holidays across the world and where it's going to land. But I don't know. It's funny because I've watched films this year and I've watched them and I've been blown away, and I've come out of the theater going, these are fantastic. These are great. When you look at Superman, that was great. Thunderbolts was great. F1 was great. Companion was great. These are different. These films, of course, are on different scales altogether. But you've seen one, you've seen them all almost for this film. I just don't think that when you go watch the film, it's not going to. You're not getting a whole lot of new. You like being back in the world, but you're almost like just walking through the world, going, "Oh yeah, this is just nice. It's nice to be here again." But there's nothing new. You're walking into a room, and everything is exactly as it was where it was, and you're just going to this room, and you're basically putting up one more Funko Pop in the room, going, "Oh, that's cool. That adds to the collection. That's really nice." It doesn't. That's it for this film. I wish there was kind of more that happened in this film, like a whole other section. Like we go to the whole world, the city, the citadel, the world while the humans are living, and we're only there for 20 minutes. We're only there for 20 minutes, and then we're pulled right back into the main world. I'm like, well, I want to know more what's going on there. I want to know if they're going to attack it, like what's happening on that end. Look, I know it's if I was giving this out of, if we give this out of 5 stars, let's do a Letterboxd review. I give it 3 visually. But if we take out the visuals, we're looking just at 2 stars. Like it don't push a lot of forward. Like it doesn't do a lot. For me, it didn't anyway. But look, if you do want to go do it, if you do go and want to see this, I recommend it. But if you are afraid about the timeline, how long it goes for, if you do watch this at home, it's not the end of the world. If you really for the visuals, go do it. Go watch this. If you want the visuals, 100% in the theater. If the visuals don't do it for you, this is definitely a film just to go watch on streaming. You're not missing a whole lot. It's not an event film that you're going to miss at all. It's not the end of the world. It's not like not like Oppenheimer or like F1 where you really should go see this in theaters. I highly recommend it. Nah, it's not that point. But look, ladies and gentlemen, ranters and rantettes, I want to say thank you very much for joining me for this episode. That is my review on Avatar. Please join us the next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing Anaconda, and we're also going to be looking at the most anticipated films, TV shows, and video games of next year, and we're also going to be wrapping up this year as well. And as always, until next time, where are you? All right. Until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time.